thank you for tuning in to the Kieran Roberts Guitar Channel. This is my first guitar lesson on YouTube, and it's going to be on bar chords. The aim of the lesson is to get you playing bar chords, and with just 2 shapes, you're going to learn 24 chords. If you enjoy the lesson, why not give me a like? Or if you feel really generous, subscribe. Right, so what's a bar chord? A bar chord's just a chord. It's just a chord. Don't think of anything special. It's got the same notes in it. A C bar chord has got the same notes in it as a C open chord. I kind of hate the term open chord and bar chord. To me, they're all just chords. Bar chords, in my opinion, are easier because you don't have to learn a different shape for every chord. That's a C open chord. A C bar chord can be played like that. That's a D open chord. A D bar chord can be played with the same shape. You just move it around on the neck. So it makes it far easier to sort of just intuitively, if you're reading a piece of sheet music, for example, to play to, it's far easier to just intuitively to just go to the chords. But that is my opinion. I'm generally wrong. So, but to learn bar chords properly, in my opinion, you need to know a little bit of theory. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into it. I don't particularly like it. I find it interesting. I'm not particularly good at it. But it's nothing scary. All we're going to learn is what the notes are on the E string, what their names are, because the names are important with bar chords. We're going to learn 2 shapes, and that's going to give you the ability to play 24 chords. So you're going to learn all 12 major and all 12 minor bar chords rooted on the E string. But we're just going to go through this tiny little bit of theory first, and then we'll look at the shapes, and then I'll maybe go over different ways to play it and how to get around those difficulties. For example, the F chord is the hardest chord to form on a bar chord when you're first starting. Just don't play it to start. Just play a song that doesn't contain an F. Play the songs where the chords are further up here. And then in the next lesson, when we do the chords rooted on the A string, you're going to be able to play an F here. So you don't have to play it there. And as your hand gets stronger, playing all those shapes of chords, you'll find you go down there eventually, after a month or whatever, however long it takes, and that F chord just plays, and it's really easy, and you built up those muscles. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's go to that paperwork or theory or whatever you want to call it, and just get through it. Right, this is the musical alphabet in like its simplest terms, or my explanation. So the musical alphabet contains the letters A to G, and there are some special letters. So it's not the same as the normal alphabet. There's some special letters, and those letters can be described as one of 2 things. They can be described as a sharp, which is the hash sign, or they can be described as a flat, which is like a little B. All that means is that it's an in-between note. So an A sharp is one above A. It's in between A and B. It's the same thing as a B flat. A B flat is one below B. It's in between A and B. So an A sharp and a B flat are really the same thing. It just depends which way you're looking. So if you're looking from the B, it's one below you because you're the B. So therefore it's a B flat. If you're looking from the A, it's one above you. So therefore it's an A sharp. But an A sharp and a B flat musically are the same note. It's the same thing. I'm going to stop there so that it doesn't get confusing. That's all you need to know. Even easier, just think of sharps or just think of flats for now. Don't think of anything else. You don't need to know them. Just think of sharps or just think of flats. So choose one and remember and memorise that so you can read it off. So either be able to, if I said to you, read me the musical alphabet, you can either say A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp. Or you can say A, B flat, B, C, D flat, D, E flat, E, F, G flat, G, A flat. It's the same thing. So just choose one way to do it and memorize it. Look at your guitar strings. We're going to have a look in a minute how these fall on the guitar, and memorize where those notes are on the guitar. Right, and there they are. You can see that the notes on the E string and where they are. So if you play an open string, you've got the E at the nut, and then it's an F sharp, a G sharp, an A sharp, a B, a C sharp, a D sharp, and an E. There's something to notice here, and I don't know if you've noticed it yet, but there's something special about the way that alphabet, and I forgot to say it a minute ago, the notes are ordered, is that some of the notes don't have a sharp or a flat between them. You can see that E and F and B and C don't have any sharp or flat between them. So remember that as well. Right, how is a major chord made? A major chord is made up of just 3 notes. These notes are called the root, the third, and the fifth. Don't worry about those fancy names. If it's easier, you can just call them the numbers 1, 3, and 5. So 1 is the root, 3 is the third, 5 is the fifth. Right, so how do we use that to make a chord? The easiest way is to do it. So let's make an A major chord. So the root of the chord, the 1, is always what the chord is called. So the root of an A major chord is A. And then everything from there is kind of worked out with respect from where A is. So if we look at the letters at the bottom, the musical alphabet, we go 4 steps from the 1 to go to the 3, and then we go 3 steps from the 3 to go to the 5. So you remember 4, then 3. So we jump from A, 4 steps, A sharp, B, C, C sharp. So the third of an A major chord is C sharp. And then we jump from C sharp, we jump 3 jumps. From C sharp, D, D sharp, E. And E is the fifth of an A major chord. So it's as easy as that. You look at the musical alphabet. The root is always the chord name. So A major, for example, the root is A. And then we count 4 steps up. We go to C sharp. And then we count 3 steps up from C sharp. And we get an E. So that's an A, C sharp, and E. That's easy. And that is an A major chord. An A major chord is formed of the notes A, C sharp, and E. So now we're going to apply this to bar chords. We're going to get away from these sheets soon, and I'm going to show you on the guitar, and it's not going to all be theory, so don't worry. We're at the end. But if we just look at this one last sheet, it says bar chords. The open chord shape of E major, which I'm sure you probably all know how to play, is actually a bar chord, which is what I was saying earlier. But instead of our finger barring the strings, the nut on the guitar is doing that for you. So when we tune the guitar, we tune it to E, A, D, G, B, E. You can see those notes at the top of the chord diagram, and that's signifying the open strings. That's doing the barring for us. Right, enough of the sheets for now. Let's get back to, unfortunately you're going to have to look at me, but let's get back to the guitar as well, shall we? Okay, so let's learn how to make these chords, these bar chords. So we need to know 2 shapes, and those 2 shapes are the shapes for E major and E minor's open chords. So if we just looked at the E major on the sheet. That's that finger there on the G string, fret 1. That finger on the A string, fret 2, and the little finger on the D string on fret 2. And that gives us an E major chord. Okay? And then to make an E minor, we lift this finger up. Yeah? Major, minor, major, minor. Here it sounds happier, sadder. Yeah? So now, if we want to play a major or a minor bar chord, we have to do this. What this nut here is doing, we have to do that with our finger, and we can move up and down the E string, and we know what the notes are on the E string, and that's the name of the chord. So it's easy. If I want to play an A sharp minor, bar there, I put those 2 fingers down. Done. Yeah, bar there, and those 2 fingers down. I'm playing A sharp major there. So it makes all those sharp chords and all it's just easy, you know. Once you learn those notes off hat and you don't have to think about it anymore, you're going to be able to play those. Someone says you're playing an A major, go to a D major, you're just straight there. And then when you learn it on the A string, it's even better because you don't even have to travel far. But that's next lesson. That's not this lesson. So yeah, like I said before, don't go straight in trying to play F straight away. That's the hardest chord to play. It's the hardest. You've got to put the most amount of pressure on the strings to get that chord to sound right. It probably sound like that when you first, or even like that when you first start playing it. But you just got to get the strength in your hand, and you've got to keep your thumb. Where am I? Sort of on the back of the neck, like that. Do you see what I'm saying? Not like this. You want your thumb, and you're pinching with your thumb and your forefinger. You're pinching, and that's what does the barring. And another thing, if you're playing a song and you're holding down, you're really squeezing there, and it's going to get tiring. You do that for 5.5 minutes to play a song, and you're going to get tired quick. So yeah, I mean, try and play a rhythm, try and pump that chord is what I'm saying. That's the beauty of a bar chord. You don't have to be down all the time. You can do you know what I mean? Instead of you can, and I'm just pumping my hand to do that, and let go, and you get a. And try and learn see how much easier that is there. I don't know if you can hear, but it's a struggle. It's harder, much harder to play that down here than it is there. I'm using a lot less pressure. So yeah, try and, and it sounds better as well, rather than. You can see my fingers pumping 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all you need to do. So yeah, for this week, or I'm planning to get the next lesson out next week. For this week, have a look at some songs that contain like an A major, a D major, and an E major, because then you haven't got Barre, yeah. And like, do you know what I mean? And there's plenty of songs out there, 1, 4, 5 of A, D, and E, for you to be playing just to get these bar chords playing. Avoid this bit. If some of you might go, oh, I can play that straight away, and great, just get playing, get playing these bar chords and use it. Do you know what I mean? Get used to playing them and get playing them in songs. Don't just play them. Don't just sit there trying to play a chord. Try and play it to a bit of music, or try and play it to a metronome, or tap your foot if you ain't got a metronome. Try and keep it in time. And it will help you with playing them. And once you've learnt these two shapes, like I said, then we'll go on to next week to learn. Some of you will be able to work this out from looking at that. Yeah, them on the A string, and if you can then work out, if you want to do a little bit more homework this week and you find it easy, then work out the numbers. Oh, sorry, the notes on your A string. So A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Yeah, and see if you can remember them and test yourself. Whereas, so just pull a chord, F. Oh, that's a bad example. C major, and see how quickly you can get to them. And you'll find, if you look at the dots, so your first dot is a G, your second dot is an A, and your third dot is a B. Quite an easy way to remember them with the dots, but then after a B there's no sharp, is there? So then it goes to the one without the dot, and then a D's without a dot as well. That might help you remember it, but just explore it and figure out where those chords are, and then by the end of the week be proud of yourself that now, if you're a beginner and before maybe you knew 4 chord shapes or 5 chord shapes, you've now learned 24 chord shapes in a week. and then you're going to learn another 24. Yeah, they're going to be the same chords. When you learn the A string, we do the minor and the major on the A string. They're the same chords, but you've learned another place to play them. So you've got different places. It means you don't have to go from F to D. You can go from F to D. Do you see what I mean? And it makes it playing so much easier. But start with the E string and then the A string, because the worst thing you can do is start getting confused between the roots of the E and the A. Learn the E first and get comfortable, and then learn the A chords next week, and then the week after we'll do sevenths, and then you're laughing, really. That's a sparkled world. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope I'll see you next week. Cheers.